Okay, this video describes the operation in use of the handheld Datalogger field probe. And you can always tell the Datalogger field probe by the fact that it has the Bluetooth antenna. This video also assumes that you've already watched the video on inserting batteries and turning on any of the Origo Phase ID field probes, and also the video on using the handheld manual field probe. Now, when you first turn on the Datalogger field probe, the handheld Datalogger, it comes up in manual mode. So in other words, in this mode it does everything the same as the manual handheld probe. In other words, if I touch the button, it goes to L0, which means low voltage on. And if I touch it again, it turns it off. So the operation is the same. And in effect, you have two probes, a manual probe and a Datalogger probe, all in one. Now, to get into the Datalogger probe, the first thing you have to do is put it into the Datalogger mode. And the way you do that is you press and hold the red button. And as you do that, it'll come up first of all LP, but you don't let it go or it'll turn the device off. So you wait until you get a LLP, which means long press. It's a 4-second press. And when you let it go, now it's in off automatic. So the voltage is off and it's in automatic mode. And when you touch the button, it goes to LA, which is low voltage automatic mode. So you can turn it on and off, same as you did the manual version. And if you want to go back to the manual version, you simply hold the button again for 4 seconds. Make sure you don't turn it off at LP. You got to wait for the LLP, otherwise it'll turn the unit off. So we'll go back and we'll put it in Datalogger mode. Okay, now the first thing happens when it comes up, you have the red light blinking on it. And that means you don't have Bluetooth connectivity. So what you have to do is once you get into Bluetooth mode, you have to go and connect up your Bluetooth. In a later video we'll describe how you do that on the PC, but for now I'll just go ahead and engage it. Okay, so now I've gone to the laptop PC, the field PC, and I locked the Bluetooth to it. I told it to connect. So now the red button is off. Okay, so now the probe is ready to take a measurement. And typically you put the Bluetooth antenna, you can put it into kind of the vertical so it's pointing down. It's the way it's normally used. And again, I have the extension cord here, so we have a source of voltage to show how it works. So I'll first of all set it up here where I'm touching the voltage to the tip. And try and orient it so you can read the display. And as I turn it on and get the LA, we're going to get the light blinks. And when it comes up, it'll give you the pH again for phase. And at that point, you'll read the lights to see if the data was recorded or not. And when you're done with that, then you'll just turn it back off again by pressing the red button. So let's take the measurement again. Only this time I'll orient it so you can see what the lights do. Okay, so now that I have it oriented so you can see the red lights, I press the red button, touch it, So I get the yellow light, which means I've got conductivity. I'll get a couple blinks on the green, and then it'll go solid. And so you want to wait now. And what I'm getting is a red light blinking. That means I'm on phase B. And I can confirm that by looking at the field PC. So once you've seen that you have the correct data, then go ahead and touch the red button again, and that'll turn it back off so you can go for your next reading. You always have to touch the button to turn it off after you take a reading, because it won't disconnect from the voltage if you don't. The sensitivity is such there's always some stray voltage, so you have to turn it back off into the OA position. Now, had the phase been A, you would have gotten the yellow light to blink. If it had been C, you would have got the green light to blink. And if you got AB, you get both the yellow and the red. If it happened to be BC, you'd get the red and the green blinking. Okay, we're now ready to take another measurement, and I want to show you the response you get if you are out of internet range. If you don't have internet coverage, then it can't, if you're not connected through the internet through an air card, then it can't decipher the reading into phase attributes in real time. So let's take our extension cord again. And as I turn it on, I get the yellow light, some green blinks, and green solid. Only this time what happens is all three lights blink. And that's an indication that you didn't, it recorded the reading on the field PC, but it didn't decipher it. So you can go to the field PC and later on, as you get internet coverage again, you can decipher it. So you just turn it off now and take another measurement. And that way you can record up a number of measurements, even if you don't have real-time connectivity. You can go ahead and just take your readings as normal and then decipher them into phase attributes later. Now, one thing is important is if you don't have internet coverage, these three lights will blink within 3 or 4 seconds after you take your reading. If you never get them to blink at all, if they just stay there with typically the yellow light on and the green light on, but they never blink, say after 10 seconds, if you wait 10 to 15 seconds and they don't blink, that means for some reason it wasn't recorded on the PC. Because when it's recorded, it gives you confirmation back by blinking either the phase attribute if you had internet coverage, or blinking all three lights if you didn't have it. And there's some situations where that might happen if there was some interference or whatever, and the Bluetooth it simply just didn't get the reading. You could get that situation. So you don't have anything recorded at this point, so you should just take another reading. It doesn't happen very often, but just be aware that it can. So it's always a good idea to stay in the measurement mode until you get a confirmation of either a single light blinking or all three blinking, and that means your reading had been recorded.